with a little bit of excitement. Dream team.
Dream team. Dream team. Dream team. Dream team. Dream team. Dream team. Dream team.
Guys, I'm gonna be. Have a seat. Have a seat. Let's keep it relaxed. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I was not feeling well, and was not gonna be here today. But I told some people that I was gonna come up to Atlanta. Tracy and Tony. So I'm here. But I'm not my usual excited. Well, it's hard for me not to be. But who's in the room today? What are we doing today? How many people are already in? Everybody. This is a team training.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to know if I had to get anybody in. So good. I don't have to. And you know, the truth of the matter is with what we're doing, there is no selling, telling, convincing, or pitching, anyways. Nope. And the truth of the matter is that we're not here to teach people how to be saleswomen and salesmen, right? Because what we have is too good for that. Yep. It really is. I saw this hilarious video on Facebook the other day of the guy, I don't know if anybody saw it, who came up to the people's door and he was selling that cleaning supplies. Did anybody see that? If you I don't know what it was called, but you've got to find it. This guy was hilarious. I mean, and the truth of the matter is that I don't believe that something sells itself. But you don't have to be the most compelling personality and have this long drawn out sales pitch to succeed with what we're doing. And the reason why is because when we started this company, right, and I'm going to be drinking a lot because my throat right now is drier than it used to be when I smoked pot all the time. I'm serious. I mean, have you guys know what I'm talking about? Now it's been fucking out. Those of you who don't know, I did celebrate just 5 years.
Yeah.
But when we started this company, to take it really all the way back, just to give you guys a perspective, because I think that what you're going to learn with what we're doing, as well as in your own business, is that the story of where you came from and the story of where you're at and where you're going is going to sell way more than anything that you could ever convince somebody of anyways.
Yep.
Okay, the benefits and features of Empower Network are not near as powerful as the personal stories of Dave and I and Tracy and Nicole and yourselves. Yep. Okay? So what happened with us initially was that 5 years ago I was at rock bottom. I mean, a lot of people don't know this about me, and some people in some different places they would scoff and scrounge at the places that I've been. But the truth of the matter is it's just my story, and I'm not ashamed of it. 5 years ago, I was scraping dope off of a dirty toilet seat in a laundromat in the worst part of town, right? And that's what I was doing. That was my rock bottom. And then I got clean, and then I slept on my dad's couch for a little while, and then he let me go to work with him on a construction job, and he paid me out of his paycheck. Right? This is a man who hadn't seen me in a long time, did the best that he could do as a father for me growing up, and hadn't seen me, and I showed up on his doorstep and was, probably 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm now, I think about 65 pounds or so heavier than that. I showed up on his doorstep and I was like, will you just let me in? First of all, will you just let me in? Right? Because I got nowhere else to go. And then I said, once he said yes, will you help me get on my feet? And he said, yeah. So he let me come to work with him on a construction job, and he paid me out of his paycheck. Not even my own yet. He was getting a paycheck, and he was paying me out of his paycheck. And I remember my first purchase. It was a twin-size bed. And he's single. He didn't remarry. He had a little studio bedroom apartment, and I put that bed in his bedroom. That was my first big purchase, in his bedroom, and we slept side by side for about 2 months in the same bedroom as he was kind of figuring out whether I was going to stay on my feet this time. Because I don't know if you've ever had somebody in your life, and maybe it hasn't been you, right? But do you have anybody in your family or circle of influence who you almost wrote them off, and other people wrote them off? You didn't know if there was hope for them or not. You thought that they were a lost cause. They were the black sheep. That was the person who just, you talked about, and it was like, I feel sorry for that person, or I was that person, right? And it was to the point to where, a lot of people didn't know if I was ever going to make it. I talk about this so much because not only is it important for me to talk about for my own therapeutic value. Do you guys know that if you're struggling with something, and I'll tell you why here in a second, but if you're struggling with something, the best thing that you can do for yourself is get through it and then talk about it. Now, it's not to talk about it as you're going through it. My life sucks so bad. I'm so hooked on drugs right now. Because you're going to run everybody off. Right? It was kind of the same thing that when I got into this industry, I drove around with a magnet on my truck and thought that people were going to throw their credit card at me. And they looked at me in this Beverly Hillbillies piece of shit truck that I was driving around and said, "Look, dude, I don't want to drive that truck." Now, Tracy Walker pulls up in Maserati.
Yeah.
She doesn't say shit. And the person says, "I don't know what you're doing. I don't really care. I want to talk." So that's the power of,
Suggest.
that's the power of, doing something, taking action, getting through something, and then being able to get results. But let me just back it up, right? The most powerful thing that you can do is to get through something and then talk about it. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know this, and maybe you have somebody who's been in the military, or you've been in the military yourself. Thank you for your service if you have. Give them a round of applause. One of the best things that, and this is something that they have a lot of soldiers do, is when they're dealing with
PSTD.
Right?
PSTD.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Post-traumatic stress
syndrome. PTSD.
One of the things that they have them do is travel around and tell their story. Now, they figured this out after trying everything on them, right? Individual counseling, medication, all of these different deep, psychiatric practices. And then you know what they did? They started taking these soldiers and taking them around the country and having them speak to people and tell their story. And that helped those soldiers more than anything that they had tried on them before. So a lot of you are saying, well, not only how do I get rich, but how do I develop personally? Well, that's something that I figured out a long time ago, which is not only why I tell my story. That's one of the reasons, but the other reason is because I want you guys to know that 5 years ago, I couldn't stand in front of a room and speak to people. Just a couple of years ago, when I started my business, I used to send every single piece of anything that I wrote to Aaron. And I said, would you, because one time I sent something out to this couple of leads that I had on my list, and they sent it back. I said, this shit is so bad. Not only could I not unsubscribe fast enough, I just want to act like I never read this. I would send it to Aaron. I would send it to Aaron and say, can you proofread this and make sure that it doesn't have anything that's going to get you banished from the internet. So I tell you that to tell you that, to show you and prove to you that I'm a real person. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So, this is the power, really, of where you're at right now. A lot of you don't even realize that. A lot of you don't realize that. The power of where you're at right now, right here sitting in this room, wherever you're at in your life. And I'm going to tell you something. I know that the majority of you are having struggles, right? I just know it. whether it's financially, whether it's something internally, whatever it is, it's probably can be categorized in about 2 or 3 things. Okay? Finance, romance, right? Finance, romance. That's a wrap. Right? But what you're doing, right, and what I'm trying to do is just, I'm trying to give you a picture of where you're going. Because you don't know yet. You don't know yet. Because all you can do is see where you're at right now. And what's happening with a lot of people when they get into this business, they discount or underestimate the power of their struggle. Your struggle is everything to you. Because when you overcome your struggle, then you use your struggle to not only solve your financial problems, shit, you can solve your romantic problems. Well, you can solve those too. I mean, you know. I sold somebody. Right? But when you get to a certain point, then you get in front of a group of people and you open up and you let them know, this is where I came from, and this is who I am. And I'm going to tell you something, that then you'll get to that point, and you'll do exactly what I did. I deposited my first check for $30,000 or $40,000, and I was on top of the world for a couple of days. And then I realized that I had all of the same problems that I had 3 or 4 days ago. Right? Not so much financial anymore, but all of the things that I was looking for in the first place. You know what I mean? Internal fulfillment. Feeling good about what I'm doing. Feeling as though I'm being of service. Feeling as though I'm making a contribution. And then what happens when all of that comes full circle and you start going out there and living with passion? Honestly, I think it's funny. Because there's a lot of people out there who criticize Empower Network. Like, we're just about the money, we're just about this, we're just about that, because our people are making more money than anybody else in the industry is making, right? And our products are better than anybody else's products. Now, my bias, yeah, I am. But I'm also logical, too. And I know what's out there. Because I know what I've done in the past to try to make it in this industry. And I've sold a bunch of horse shit, to be honest with you. I remember running around a couple of years ago selling this purple facial lotion. And people would say, what's the product? And I'm going to be, let me tell you something. If you wanted to ever see somebody who avoided the what's the product question, it was me in that business. Well, don't worry about the product. You don't need to worry about that. Let's look at this money. Don't worry about the product. Don't worry about the damn product. Let's get this money. Then I didn't roll them in the business. I take them to the website. It was this purple, girly looking thing. They said, what's the damn product? I know what's in the industry. I know what I've had to do before. Right? And a lot of people, they criticize us because they say we're all about this or we're all about that. But I'll tell you what we're really doing here is we're transforming people into not only freedom artists, but also to passion-driven entrepreneurs, teaching people about business, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But we're also giving people a vehicle to be financially free. And financially free to you can mean something totally different to the person sitting next to you. Right? I mean, today, financially free to me is a lot, it means something a lot different than it did, even 2 years ago. Something totally different. I mean, a couple of years ago, an extra $200 a month, I financially free. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just so I can remember, and this was the turning point in my life, really, was when I was making decisions in my life of whether I was going to take Aaron out to dinner or pay the electric bill. I remember making those decisions. And that was the turning point in my business. And I've been at low points in life. I'd sat in some of the worst crack houses. I've sat in some of the shittiest bathrooms, and in the places that you wouldn't want your worst enemy to be. And making those decisions about my family, once I had gotten clean and had started to get my life back together, and I looked at what I was doing in life, and I said, I'm ready to go back to being homeless. Right? I'm serious. Because I couldn't make no money out there. I was driving a piece of shit truck that I had to start with a screwdriver. I was the guy who was the last guy to always leave. People thought that I was social. I wasn't. Thank God. I'm going to steal a little bit. Sorry for those people. They thought I wanted to talk to him, Adrian. I didn't want to talk to him. I just didn't want to go. I didn't want them to see me go over and pop that hood on that F-450 and start that bitch with a screwdriver. I remember going to my first business meeting. I was invited over to corporate. Let me tell you something. You know, that truck didn't stop me from becoming producing in this one company. I got invited over to corporate headquarters driving that truck. They did a fly-in. Well, he was in Tampa. Well, my ass kind of putted over. And I parked 3 parking lots over. Walking up, those smooth boy. Don't get mad at your spouse when they're trying to look out for you. They're not unsupportive. they got to get there the best way that they can get there. Right? Guys, I'm telling you something, that what they'll tell you in most companies is get away from your spouse if they're not supportive. Eliminate all the people in your life if they don't see where you're going. Well, guys, if somebody every single day is negative and they're beating you up, or you're in an abusive relationship or something like that, then please don't stay in it, right? So, guys, if you have somebody around you that you need to show some proof, right, for them to believe in you, then show them some proof. Get them to an event. Get them to an event. Let me push them over the fence.
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
I'll push them over the fence.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yes.
Hold on, Nicole. Now, Nicole, that's a leader right there. I spent some time with her husband, and we just talked, right? We just talked through some different perspectives. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you're making. Bring them into the family. Bring them into the family. Let us help them, right? Let us help. And you do what you've got to do to show them. That's what I did in the video. I didn't quit. Right? And I can remember all of the nights sitting up. I can remember spending money that I didn't have. I can remember doing things that I didn't want to do. I can remember going to work every day, working construction, coming home, working my business at night. And I didn't have what we have. I didn't have this. I went through all of the different bullshit. I sold products that I didn't believe in. Okay? I sold products that I had no business selling. I mean, it was just dumb stuff. Right? I didn't have something that I could offer to people that I believed in like what we have here. I didn't. I was always avoiding the product question. I'm serious. That wasn't the only business. There was a couple others that were like that too. And then I went on to the internet, and I was like, I got to figure out some evil scheme to get people to send me money from halfway around the world or something. I mean, I was really at a point after running around doing dumb stuff, like what we teach you not to do here. And guys, when we say don't pick up the phone, let me clarify what I mean by that. That doesn't mean when you first get in, don't do whatever it takes to make it happen. We got to be super, super clear about that. A lot of people are sitting around with about $30,000 staring them in the face, and they're confused because they say Dave, and everybody tell us not to use the phone. Here's what we mean. Don't pick up the white pages and cold call all the attorneys. Right? And don't call poor, Grandma Bertha. 92 years old. Well, you know ain't gonna do nothing with the business. If anything, just tell her to give you $5,000 instead of trying to sell her the product. So don't call Aunt Bertha. But guys, in that first, you guys can start over today. Make this let's push a sprint from today to Chicago.
Yeah.
You can make today day one. And do whatever you've got to do, because you're going to be excited coming out of today. I promise you will. Right?
Yes.
We're all together. The synergy's here. I came out here. Okay? You're excited right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know you are, because I am. And I'm not feeling well. But that first week, go crazy. Go crazy. And then be consistent. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's some people in your network, there's some people who are watching you that are waiting for you to stop so they can say, can't do that girl and stick with that bullshit. So you can come to church or, wherever, the kids' baseball game or whatever, and say, what's up with that internet thing? You ain't doing that no more? And guess what? If you quit, what are you going to say? But if you're still in the game, Then what are you going to say? Matter of fact, I am. And not only am I, but I'm hopping on a plane going to Chicago to spend time with the team in April. They start seeing you traveling around. See, a lot of you have going to events kind of discombobulated in your head. Going to events, that's a vacation, friends. And when you go to them events, you need to frame it to people. I'm traveling. I'm chilling. I'm traveling. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you doing right now? You know damn well what they're doing. Probably sitting at home in front of the idiot box on the ground. You know? So, look. When you're consistent, when you're consistent, guess what? A consistent, clear, simple message will always wear down somebody. It will always wear somebody down. Now, I don't know if you've ever done it, but I know I have. I sit back and back before I really started succeeding, I'd watch somebody for weeks and months, and I'd be like, I ain't joining that thing. And they'd still be on the internet. I'd get another email 6 months later. Fuck it! Here's what I do now. Here's what I think. Now y'all laugh because you know I'm telling the truth. Because I don't tell nothing but the truth. Because I don't give a damn. You know? And if you don't like the truth, you can leave. Right? That's what we do here is we tell the truth, right? Because you know what? If you want somebody to lie to you, look, there's millions of them out there. You can go with all your problems and all your bitching and moaning, and you know what they'll do? Oh, that motherfucker, you know what he said? Oh, no, he didn't, girlfriend. No, he didn't. Okay. Right? Isn't that what you'll do? They'll see your asses on fire, they'll put the jumper cables right on that shit. Leave that bitch. Will they or will they not? You know, don't you, sweetie? Oh, yeah. I'm telling the truth. Listen, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. It don't even... They'll see you with a simple, consistent message over time, and it will wear them down. Right? Now, let me give you another example. Look, I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Okay? If you're standing in a field with 100 people and they all start running to the right just all of a sudden, what do you think you're going to do? Right. You're going to go to the left? Well, you're 1 in a million, baby. Like Aaliyah said. Hey, so people will follow the herd, they'll follow the crowd. It's a marketing strategy. Okay? It's good marketing, right? And I don't cook, I don't clean. Okay? I make messes everywhere I go. I have a hard time dressing myself. Even though sometimes I look pretty fly. Because my boo dresses me. Hey, she does do a good job. Look, so when you come to these events, make a big deal out of it. That simple, consistent message, a lot of you are asking yourselves the wrong questions. You're asking yourself, well, I'm not making any money. How am I supposed to prove to everybody that it works? Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. Right? I was watching this dude's video. he sent me a Facebook or a YouTube video through a Facebook message back in April of 2012. His name's Christian. He said, Dave, I'm quitting my construction job. I'm going full-time today. I'm staying in my mom's house. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Right? I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I was like, badass, bro. Because, I mean, I get a million messages a day. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, badass. Because you know I want to go out there. You know how you want to go out there and help everybody? And, oh, man, this cat's going full-time. I got to go scoop him up. You know, it's like, you know, you just, at a certain point, it's like, you got to see who's going to put in the work. You got to, because you can't scoop everybody up, right? Sometimes and this is tough for some people to hear, but sometimes you got to step over the bodies. I'm telling you, sometimes you got to step over the body, because guess what? Somebody will pull you down quicker than you pull somebody up. They will pull you down, my friend. Those are the people who you do need to get away from, right? But this guy sends me a message. Dave, I'm going full-time. Badass, bro. Well, I started seeing this guy popping up here a couple of weeks ago. And I'm sure he's been doing stuff ever since, but I ain't really noticed him because he wasn't really making money yet. Cutting videos every day. Making money. Living on his own terms now. He was living in his parents' house. He's got a house with his family. Now, he's still working a little construction here and there. He's doing what he has to do. Look, my lady has a career of her own. Let's not get caught up in the job thing, people. Look, you do what makes you happy.
That's right.
You do what makes you happy. My woman has a career, right? I don't go to my woman saying, you didn't quit that damn job because jobs are only for weenies. I mean, look. This man's going out here doing what he's got to do to put food on his families in their mouths, right? But guess what? April 2012, a year later, he's just now starting to get his groove on. He's now starting to put some money in the bank account. You know how long it took me to succeed, guys? A lot of you don't know that the first time I was ever introduced to network marketing, I had just got out of drug treatment. This woman walked up to me, her name was Katrina, I'll never forget her. I was a little hot shot too, I thought I was badass. I was good on the phone. I was writing scripts, you know what I'm saying, in a top. Now there was this black woman who sat back in the corner, and I don't know what she was doing, but she was killing them on the phones. She had this sexy voice. I think she was luring them in like it was like... Trina walked up to me and she said, Dave, you look like a sharp guy. I'm having a bit, and I thought to myself, about time somebody noticed. She said, I'm having a business meeting at my house and I'd like you to come over and take a look. Now, I thought to myself, damn, I've been locked up. I've been in drug treatment. Shit. She wants to go in business with me? Alrighty then. I put my Sunday best on and went right over there, right that night. She bust out the whiteboard, right? There was one guy there. I was like, well, at least I'm not the only one. He was like, all right, honey, I'll be in the back if you need me. Me and the ladies up there, they started busting. Now, this was another company, it wasn't the facial cream. This was before that. They busted out the, health products and stuff, and we started, tasting and trying and sampling. And in this business, now, I called my mom up that night and got in that business. She loaned me a few $100s. I mean, she was proud, man. She got on the drug treatment and everything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now I wanted to go into business. She floated me a few dollars. Now, this business was so bad. And just, let's compare here for a second, right? I remember we were doing, immediately after I got into that business, we scheduled my next home party. Because, I mean, that's what you do in a traditional business. And you guys are welcome to do that if you want. I think there's better ways, but But she scheduled it, and it was at my mom's house. And I'll never forget, I was on my way over, and she called me and she said, Dave, stop at a McDonald's and get us a Big Mac meal. And I thought to myself, damn, she's nice, she's buying me dinner, right? Well, she wouldn't buy me dinner. She had me up in front of my mom's house with my mom, her friend, and this other weird guy that was I invited him, but I didn't want him to come. And then I invited all my friends, and he was the only guy that came to the home party. And I'm stuffing these hamburgers in a pantyhose, demonstrating what this food was doing to your intestines. In order to get people in the business and prove how. I guess the point was that you could do that to your body, and then the products would like wash it down or something, make it all better, or whatever. But if you look at what I did compared to what we know now, it's a drastic change. Now, 2 points to prove there. That, as well as, how long do you think I've been in the game?
8 years.
6. 5.
Somewhere around there. About that.
8.
How long you been in the game?
4.5.
Less than a year. Why not?
Okay. Give yourself time to grow. Give yourself time to grow. What you're getting here is you're getting an education that you don't get in college. I've had people who come and try to work for me. Now, I'm out with Dave, we're leading the field, right? Everybody in Empower is in our team because we're affiliates. Also, he and I were the first ones to start. We brought in a front line, Tracy, Lawrence, everybody who was at that Orlando meeting when we launched. Everybody in that room got in, by the way. Okay, that's another story. Maybe I'll tell it here in 5 minutes, or maybe in 5 hours, or maybe next week. But you guys got to give yourselves time to grow. Right? You got to give yourselves time to grow. I got people who try to come work for me, and we've got about 50 employees that work for Empower. Okay? We've got facilities that we're outgrowing. We need to move into a bigger facility, because we've got so many people doing so many things. We've got tech departments that are expanding. We've got product development that's going on that's going to, in my opinion, be probably one of the leading technology companies on the internet here very soon. Okay, we're in the top 300 most traffic sites in the entire world right now. I think you know, what is it?
It's like 179.
170, yeah. 176 or 179.
Let's see, John. A lot going on. Well, people come to me, they say, Dave, I want to work in your marketing department. Because they don't realize they can make more money as an affiliate. I'm like, why do you want to work for me in the corporate? What's wrong with you? But we treat our people well. Because if it wasn't for the people who work for us on the corporate side, there would be no Empower, because Dave and I were doing all that stuff at first. Can you imagine? It was not pretty. We got it. Was it pretty, baby? It was not cute. It was not cute. I came home with $70,000 in orders when we first launched the company, and I called Aaron. I was like, honey, the weekend went good, real good. Problem is I've got all these orders. The website doesn't work, and I need lots of people to help me input. So she started calling people, and it was like, anybody ever seen, what's New Jack City? Yeah. They're all sitting in the naked and shit. That's how people look, input orders. I won't finish that story. I'll let your imagination. So I got people who come in and they want to work for us. I say, well, what do you know about marketing? I want to work in your marketing department. I'm like, well, fool, the marketing department's in the field. You missed that boat. I say, tell me about marketing. Well, first of all, I got a shiny 4-year degree on marketing. Well, tell me the difference between what is email? What is a pay-per-click marketing campaign? What the hell did you learn in the 4 years? Right? They learned a lot of theory, and that's the problem with business as well, right? People, what you're learning here, guys, and let me tell you why this is so powerful. Because when you know why, then the rest, I can teach you the how. The how is really simple, to be truthful with you. And a lot of you are looking for the secret in the wrong place, right? I'm telling you, develop yourself. Develop the way that you think, the way that you speak. You don't have to be a charismatic speaker either. If you're constantly developing and you're listening to audios and subconsciously you're letting the information download into your head, guess what's going to come out your mouth? Trust me, bullshit in, bullshit out. Trust me. I heard this guy, and I've seen it in all of you guys who I've been listening to and know now for a long time. Now, Adrian, he's a preacher, but I'm telling you, his communication has improved over the course of the last year. Right? Now, he used to be a preacher. Now he's a badass preacher. Can I get an amen? Let me tell you something you probably don't know. Now, I just learned this the other day, and I thought, now isn't that fascinating? That 78% of football players are broke 3 to 5 years after they retire from football. Do you want to know why? Any guesses? Okay, poor money management. What else?
Shiny ball syndrome.
Shiny ball. That's just fun to say, isn't it? Toys, right. Toys, blowing money on bull crap. I mean, some of the things that I heard and saw that they're blowing money on. I mean, I just was like, oh, Lord. I'm looking for something specific.
Their mental capacity, constant inflow of money. They don't have a constant inflow of money.
Why do they not have a constant inflow once they retire?
They don't play as
Once you stop playing, your salary is done.
Right. So they have no more inflow. So listen. Y'all talk like a bunch of network marketers. She like, they ain't got no residuals. Here's why. They don't know shit about business or marketing.
That's right.
They come fresh out of college, and their entire lives, I know because I played baseball coming up. I know what the focus was on. Now, my mom wanted me to get an education, but she also wanted me to play ball. And so did my pops, so did everybody else, because I was good, right? So what happens is these guys come along and they play ball their whole life, go to college, oh my gosh, just for an hour, I'll be right. So they come out of college, and they play ball the whole time in school. Then they go and play pro ball, and then they come out, and their cousin comes up to them and says, "Hey man, I got this good investment. I heard one. It's this revolutionary slurping machine." They don't know the difference between a good, opportunity and not, right? So they invest in all this bullshit, like you said, and then they get out, no more money's coming in, and they don't know nothing about business or marketing. So they don't know how to make investments, they don't know how to go out there and start from scratch. Guys, here's what I realized, is that neither do most people, neither did I when I first got started. So what I want to do is point out a couple of things. Number one, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break if you're not coming in here with like this Harvard business mind and you're putting all the pieces together. Give yourself a little bit of a break and some time to learn this stuff. It's here for you. And you have an opportunity to actually have people in the front of the room who are going to tell you the truth and not be like, don't worry about that stuff, just focus on golf. Setting you up for failure. Learn what you need to learn while you're here. We don't tell you to blog daily, listen to audio on a daily basis, get on the calls, and attend the events for no reason. We tell you that because every time you come to an event, you're going to learn something that you ain't going to learn in a classroom. Now guys, if there's some teachers in here, not only first and foremost, God bless you, right? Because you do a job that I could never do, right? But I think you'll agree that a lot about the educational system and the way that we're raised is ass backwards. Because a lot of things that people are learning are not benefiting them in their adult lives, right? And that's not any one person's fault. It's society in general. And then we sit down in front of one of the best marketing schemes I've ever seen, which is like CNN. I mean, they're like, breaking story, one-armed midget saves cat from tree. Coming up at 11. It's like you're sitting on early. I gotta be back there. All it is good marketing, right? But it's bullshit in, bullshit out. So, and I'm not even talking about the money. Guys, do you believe that you can make money here? Do I need to convince you and talk about all of the millions that you can make? Guys, look, we got people, I'm an affiliate, Dave and I are making upwards of $360,000 a month right now. Woo! Right? We started out as two guys, we had a list, we had some influence, but with no, a couple of years ago, we were both broken homes. Right? I mean, Nicole Cooper got in, had a baby, and didn't do shit for 6 months. And made what?
During that time, I made 40 grand while I was sitting down for 6 months. Nice. Wow.
And guys, Felicia? How much money you make?
About over 17,000.
You ain't supposed to make $17,000, bro. Because I couldn't make $17,000 when I got started. And let me tell you something. I was just as tenacious as Felicia was. But we've got a system, and when you plug yourself, who's got the willingness and the open-mindedness to do it into the system, and you do what we say, it works. It works, and it's proven to work. So let me talk about the future, and then I'm probably not going to talk too much longer. Maybe. So here's what's coming in the future. Okay, we've got some things that we're launching in Chicago. Okay, that are really going to change the game, not only in Chicago, but also the next event. Okay, in the next 6 months, actually, in the next 4 to 5 months. What we're going to release out of Empower Network is going to flip everybody on their head. Everybody on their head. I'm trying to tell you something. Everybody on their head. All this bullshit that we've been dealing with from all these cats out here, and I don't even want to go into it, but these other sites and all these hassles and all these haters, we're about to eliminate them all. Sometimes the best way to do something is to do it yourself. And that's what we've got going on behind the scenes, and that's about as much as I'm going to say about that. Right? But what I'm telling you guys is, and one thing that you never do in this industry is you never take away from a compliment. Never take money away from people. Never. Ever take money away from a compliment. But you can add to a compliment. So those of you who are sitting Yeah.
Again?
So those of you who are sitting around saying, yeah, I want to build a big team, I want to earn money off of every single person in the team, trying to poke holes in, just in case you got that little inner wussy in the back of your head that's trying to poke holes in something and find something wrong with something, right? We're about to kill that wussy. What I want you guys to do is I want you to know that if you're thinking, if you have forward thinking, you're thinking into the future, know that we're a couple of steps ahead of you guys. And that if you're taking one step, we're taking two.
Yes.
Because the problem with success is that a lot of people have it and then they get complacent with it. My brother said, ain't nothing wrong with success. I saw your look. He said, ain't nothing wrong with success. But the problem with success is that some people get complacent with it. A lot of people, and it's a good thing that who's leading this horse is who's leading this horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that we've been where we've been. Because where we've been is enabling us to be able to keep our feet on the ground where we're at right now. Because I'm going to tell you something, when you get successful, it only exaggerates who you already are. Okay? So if you've got people who, and this is the problem that I've had with other companies that I've been involved with, is, they had some good things going on, and then, they started bickering and bitching, and they couldn't get along, or somebody broke a fingernail, and they were ready to quit, or they were a bunch of spoiled little pansies, and they got success, and then they got all self-righteous and entitled. Right? This is the things that you run into with a lot of company owners and a lot of leadership. And I'm telling you guys that a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff is not like it is here at Empower. It's ugly. It doesn't look good. It's political. It's bullshit. Truthfully. And what our vision is to, the bigger we get, the more people we can lift up. The bigger we get, the more we can invest back into infrastructure and technology to be able to do more for people. The bigger we get, the bigger the events get, the more people we can get on stage. I don't know if you noticed what happened in Austin. But the amount of people that we were able to get on stage in Austin was uncanny. It was unbelievable. Right? Because that is our vision. That's our goal. Our vision is to lift as many people up and to create a legacy in this industry. Not just to go and make a bunch of money. Guys, can I be honest with you for a second? I know that I can make money in anything that I do. I know it. You could put me in accounting, you could put me in law, you could put me in health, you could put me in administration, you could put me in the educational system. Why? Because I've developed internally. It's all right here. It's all right here. I believe it. Right? So guys, the day that I don't feel fulfilled and I'm not fulfilling the vision of helping people and being of service to people, I'll go do something else. Right? That's not today though. And I don't see that time anywhere near in the future. Because what we've got here is bigger than we ever thought it would be. It's more important than we can even imagine right now. And everybody's contribution is as important as the next person's. Because I'm going to tell you something. The next Tracy Walker may just be the next person that you talk to. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. That if you want to help somebody in their life, pull them into this family and let us beat up on them for a year. And I'm going to tell you something. The person that they will come out as on the other end will not be the same person.
That's right. And
in that process, not only will you find what you're looking for, but you might just make a lot of damn money in the process.
That's right.
Okay? You guys ready? Leadership is one of the most important things in this industry. Guys, and here's what I'm going to tell you. That your leaders here, and I've worked with these women, Nicole and Tracy specifically for a while now, guys, I have never in my life met more servant-driven, more respectful, more ethical, more compassionate leaders than the leaders on the dream team. And I'm going to tell you something. If I could give you one piece of advice that you remember from today, that's going to be listen to what they say.
Yes.
There's a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot of bullshit. Okay? But you won't find out there what you're going to find right here in this room. Because I'm going to tell you something. The grass may seem greener sometimes on the other side, but it is only artificial turf.
Yeah.
I promise you.